Hey guys, welcome back to AJ's Car Garage. Straight to the point, we'll get the harmonic balancer on today and get it all timed up. And yeah, see what she looks like with the rocket cover sat on there. But yeah, obviously if you made it through to the end of the last video, today's video is continuation of that. Editing's a bit rough at the moment, but yeah. Anyway, hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you at the end of it. So for the next bit, I've just gone along and put a couple of bolts, my old flex plate bolts, in the back of the crankshaft to try and get a bit of leverage when it comes to doing up the harmonic balancer. Speaking of, my brand new harmonic balancer from Ross Performance Parts. So there's a bit of information there. It is triggered, and these harmonic balancers can be a direct fit for a dry sump unit. So sweet as 1000 horsepower rated. I don't run a dry sump, so I don't need to worry about it being bolted up to a dry sump. But if anyone out there does run a dry sump on one of these things, these are the way to go. Open her up and have a quick look. I have done an unboxing of this previous, but we'll go over and have another quick look. Yeah, there she is, all nice. It's got engraving marks all over the side of it, and yeah, it's such a nice unit. So there's 170, 60, 90. So there's 0 there. Oh. We'll see if that's already true time, because as explained in the book, the keyway lines up with the timing mark, just like that. But there's the 0 degree mark there, where my nail is, where my thumb is, and there's the keyway over there. She's not exactly lining up, but I don't know, we'll see what happens. Oh, and I did do my timing mark there extra, so yeah. Oh, and for those of you watching out there, if you've got any advice for me for my paint, because I don't know if you've already noticed, but my paint has cracked, and yeah, it seems that every time I do something like this, my paint cracks like that. Yes, I do follow instructions. I clean it down properly. You know, wax and grease remover, cure, all that sort of stuff, you know. And yeah, keeps going hard, obviously, because it's cured, which is good, but it keeps cracking. So any tips from anyone out there to stop that from happening, yeah, let me know, because it is rather annoying, and it does make a job look kind of how should we say, piss poor at the end of it, unfortunately. But yeah, stuff like that can't be helped. Anyway, enough chatter, let's get this thing on there. Bit of assembly lube. Try not to mix it with the grease that's on the outer seal. tip with them as well. The Permaseal gaskets for the timing cover for the crank seal, the front crank seal, do already come greased. If you get any other brand, I'm pretty sure you have to grease them yourself. So yeah, just take that into note. Yeah. Just put a bit of this just to throw a comparison out there. There's the old one. Tell you something, these gloves are handy to have, but damn, do you go through some. So I'm having a bit of trouble getting this damn thing on, so I'll get back to you when this is on.
A few moments later.
Alright, so she's on there. Yeah, it was a bit of a hard time. Had to more or less use the Ugga Dugga to get the thing on there properly as far as it'd go. Yeah, I'm still not quite sure if it is as far as it can go down in there. I don't even know if you can see in there properly. Hang on, get me another little light. Yeah. Yeah, you can see the teeth of the balancer here. There's not enough space. Alright, so yeah, friggin' hell, no space. Anyway, the teeth of the balancer. Alright, and then down between the teeth and the timing cover, you can see the shaft of the balancer. To me, that doesn't seem like it's all the way in, but it's as far in as I can get it, and it's even starting to turn the harmonic balancer and the crankshaft, so take what you will out of that. So the retaining bolt is 125 Newton meters, or in my case 92.19 foot-pound. So I'll go ahead and get that done. I'll have to grab a hand from someone. There you go. Fraction over 92 foot-pound. You ready?
Yeah. Done?
Yep. So, there you go. One torque to spec harmonic balancer. Let's just see. So as you can see, like I was explaining before, there's still that gap between the teeth and the cover. I'm pretty sure that's about normal by now. So yeah, safe to say we can move on. I'm so not happy about that, let me know what I can do about that, people, for future jobs. Anyway, yeah, we're at the point now where we can legitly dial down that harmonic balancer with the timing and the cam gear. So yeah, but drop a comment below and let me know what you guys think is the way it looks so far. I think I come off with the right color choice in a way, depending on which way the light hits it at this point in time. But you know, the blue, the silver, it yeah, the silver takes away from the alloy nicely a little bit, I think. Yeah, clean alloy, clean dirty alloy, silver paint. Anyway, yeah, drop a like. Yeah, and that was my mother that you just seen on camera too, by the way. Top lady. Alright, so yeah, I had a bit of a scare. One of these little bolts backed itself out and dropped down into the timing cover. I had to rotate the engine and try and get it to drop out the top. Anyway, I've had a bit of a mess around, and pretty sure I've got my crank dialed in. It's about 5 degrees off, so the keyway is, if you remember, was my timing mark. The keyway on the harmonic balancer to the 0 is about 5 degrees off. So I, messing around with that. I'm pretty sure I've got it dialed in. I'll just go over it again quickly a couple of times, and yeah, so there's about a degree between the piston reaching the top of the cylinder block and then coming back down. So yeah, it's about 3.5 degrees at true top dead center. So yeah, there's me try and get you a bit of a decent look at my gauge here. So I'm about to come past 0 degrees now. So it stops there. I'll actually by the timing mark, I'm at 4 degrees. And give it a little bit of a spin. Oh, hang on. Let's just go back. Right. 10 degrees advanced now, so I'm coming around. It's about 4 degrees, and not moving, not moving, not moving. So that started dropping back down about 3 degrees. It's a bit hard to exactly line up by eye, but it's sitting at like 3 degrees right there, 4 degrees. So I'm gonna take it back around that way, bring it back, watching the dial to where it stops, and then I'll probably give it a little bit more. So yeah, that's pretty much the crank dialed in. We'll go back opposite rotation. That was quite a bit. So 20 degrees around. So we'll come round there now. Coming round, it's coming up, it's about to stop. Stop there. Oh, went a little bit further. So it's about as good of a look as I can give yous, and that's more or less looking dead on, because you can't look at it down dead straight because you're not going to get the proper lineup, so you got to look at it sort of like that, down across, and yeah, as you can see, the best look I can give you is 4 degrees advanced. So I feel pretty happy with that. I'm gonna leave it there. Yes, I know, looks bodgy, but there's no movement. I'll put it there in a way it can go up and down on the piston and have no sort of, or at least very minimal movement within contact of the dial gauge to by extension. Yeah, only main thing you really have to worry about is, you know, when you do make your measuring movements, just keep an eye on where that dial is pointing to. Yes, I know you got pointers and whatnot, tried moving it, it adjusted the measurement too much, so I've left it as it is and just kept an eye on where the dial ends up, as you've seen yourself just then. But yeah, so doing this side should be a bit easier, a bit smoother. Not that wasn't smooth, but there's no, there's a lot of movement in that. There's not going to be any movement dialing that down, but as you've seen, there was no movement when I was messing around, you know, so Sweet. Yes, a little bit budgy. Don't have a dial gauge. Best thing you can do when you don't have a dial gauge. Yes, there is piston stoppers that you can put in your spark plug hole and stop the piston, but they're more ideally, I think, for top mount spark plugs that go directly on top of the piston, whereas these are off-centered and are going to cause the piston to even doing this is going to cause the piston to sort of not sit flat and tilt one way, but that's sort of a loose, it's held there, but it's held there loosely, so theoretically the pressure of the piston holding itself in the cylinder should be sweet. Yeah, so I'm gonna mess around and get that set up over here and get the camshaft dialed in. Okay, so just to clarify, you can see on the cam gear that the timing mark is 3 degrees. So and that is roughly 3.5. Close to, let's just say somewhere in between 3 and 4 degrees. As to how you've seen me just dial it up. So anyway, onto the cam itself. You can see here I've got my magnetic stand, dial gauge indicator all set up. I'll move the cam a bit and see where we're starting and stopping. I've come to the conclusion that there's not much overlap or cam roll in the 10 degrees that's marked on the cam gear. They're not tight at the moment, but I did tighten a couple of the screws to hold the cam to the gear itself, vernier, make sure it's all closed so it's all moving as one. Anyway, yeah, barely any movement on the spring within that 10 degrees. So what I'm gonna do is set the cam itself to 3 degrees. I don't know, I might go 4 degrees retarded. We all love a bit of retardedness in the engine. Maybe, I don't know, 3-4 degrees, somewhere there. We'll see where it ends up. But yeah, the dial, it's like little to no movement in the dial at all. I'll just grab me socket wherever I just put it. We'll go backwards to start with, why not? So, looking at the dial gauge, right. Oh, fucking bolts just come undone. Are you serious? Right, so I've re-torqued it. I'm about to set the cam on the degrees, and yeah, that should be it. So there we have it. One cam set at 3 degrees, or might be a bit closer to 4 degrees, we'll say. So from here on out, I'll go through and take out all the little retainer bolts on the cam gear, one by one, sorry, not all at once. Yeah, I'll take the top two out, turn it, yada yada yada. Adjust me torque wrench down to 5 newton, down to 5 foot-pound, because that's what's instructed in the crowd cam box. So just do that. There's 10, 5 newton meters. So they are a 4mm hex and Allen key type socket. Let's get the back one out. Put some Loctite on it. It's probably excessive amount. It's kind of gonna pick it up. No. Anyway. Right touch off it. Don't want to make it impossible to get them out, you know. Whoa. Well, yeah. Stuff's like just turning to freaking like gel or something, mate. Yeah. I need to wipe this one down. Okay. Round 2. Fight! That stuff's smelling like jelly. It must be old as shit. Oh, of course, eh? People, put your washers on first. Anyway. Five foot-pound. First 2 done. Well, here you go. They're all torqued up. The back round to top dead center, 3 degrees. If you can see it, I don't know how well it's showing up, if at all. But there she is. Up. This is annoying me. So that's fine by that. Why is that out? That's better. We're on the money there with the line I made. I don't know if you can even see it. You see the darker one, longer one? That's 4 degrees. And then up here we're sitting pretty where it should be. So there you go. This is all timed up. Yes, I admit, a bit of an unorthodox way of degreeing it up and whatnot, but it's an easy way of doing it when you haven't got a degree wheel. You can even, just for the true top dead center of the crank itself, worst case scenario, least best option is like I had an extension of a socket down in there, or you can even use a screwdriver or something and do it by eye. But that's best worst case scenario. This is probably a decent mid scenario where you got everything but a degree wheel, and everything that you can possible have degree marks on it, that's got degree marks on it to help you do it without a degree wheel. But true top dead center of the crankshaft with the harmonic balancer. Like I said, there's a point where it dwells at the very top of the cylinder for, it vary from engine to engine depending on how big or small the cam is and all that sort of stuff, but it's generally about 4 degrees of the crank rotation where the cylinder sits at the top of the bore. You dial that down, find the points of where it stops moving on the dial gauge, mark it, you move it until it moves again, mark it or make mental note, and then you basically just go in right in the middle of there for true top dead center via the piston, which in this case there was 1 degree between it sitting at the top and moving down again, so I'm pretty happy with it sitting anywhere between 3 to 4 degrees. The only other thing apart from that is measuring cam lobe lift for making sure your center lines and everything are right. That's going a bit too far into what I sort of need. Tend to be a bit maybe over trusting when I get parts from well-known brands like Crow Cams and all that, so I'm trusting what the paperwork says to be true on here, and let's go from there. 3 degrees retarded. You would say that to be 3 degrees advanced. So let's call the timing done. It's been a mess around, I'll tell you. Anyway, looking good, looking more like an engine again and again and again. Gotta say, love the harmonic balancer, the way it looks on there. Makes the engine look entirely different. I mean, you see a shitty little one like what's stock on there. Oh, they're not exactly little, but they're same size, shitty looking, and then you get something like that just makes it all look 150% different and better. So next step from here will be Water pump, got to get the sump sorted out still. Yeah, hang on, one thing. I'll go get the timing cover on, go sit that on there, see how she looks, so have a gaze. Alright, so there you just go. Rocker cover sitting on there nicely. Hasn't got the rocker cover gasket in it or anything like that. It's just sitting on there, looking pretty, looking schmicky. Now, how this looks on camera now is not how it looks to me in person. It's lighter across the side, and yeah, that looks, it doesn't even look as dark as what it actually is. So yeah, how it looks there is basically how I wanted the whole thing to look. Yeah, on the sides I don't know why. Yeah, still sort of tell. It's very, very light. Shit doesn't even turn up on the, where cameras really do injustice for some things. I mean, damn. I'm not, yeah. The way it looks on camera, I'm astonished. Like, I'm astounded. Looks great. I mean, it looks great to me in person too, but I'm not happy with how the sides are. Well, actually, I'm more happy with how the sides are than the top. The top come out really dark for some reason. But, yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Drop a comment and let me know. Yeah, it's basically back to being an engine. Just got to get the water pump in there. Still making my mind up on that, whether I want to put a new one in there or not, which I probably will. May as well do it and not half-ass it. And yeah, get the turbo on there. Still need to find a gasket. Alright, so we're gonna leave that one there. The timing cover and everything's all on there, looking schmick, looking pretty. It's all timed up, dialed in, ready to go. And yeah, I couldn't be happier with the way it's turned out. In general terms, you know, I'm not exactly 100% happy with the way the paint turned out, but hey, she's on there, she's looking awesome, looking 100% better than what it was. Scratches and all that I put in the paint myself, like that one right there, and that big one up here, but that'll be covered, that big ugly one, so no matter. But yeah, no, she's sweet. So yeah, we'll leave this one here. Hope you are all safe and well. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like the hell out of it, share the hell out of it, subscribe if you haven't already, or if you're a newcomer, and yeah, don't forget to ring that bell so you don't miss any of my content. So yeah, leave it there. Peace out to all of you, and catch us next time.